Oh, of course, got to get a little bit of sing element in there. It's going to be a musical as well because they're show pigs. They've got to perform, of course. Right. Wow. I'm stunned. Now that Shrek 5 has been bumped off to 2027, I guess we found the next contender for the worst movie of next year. This is just baffling all the way through. And it's so strange because the less I knew about it, the more I kind of had hopes for it. The closer you look, the worse it gets. So this is a new 3D animated adaptation of George Orwell's Animal Farm, done by Angel Studios, who have had some major massive hits recently, what with that Jesus movie earlier in the year, and likely the David movie coming out this week as well, which we'll likely do as a review on the side. They seem to be very much up front and center when it comes to classic general book adaptations for a wide open family audience. But then the question is, why on earth are they adapting this? Okay, interesting. They did that very kid-friendly, but I guess because it needs to sort of roll out into it, that wasn't very much a brutal takedown of the farmer. And also didn't show much about how, I mean, hey, it's only the trailer, but it didn't show much about how bad the farmer was before. But hey, maybe it would expand more in the actual thing. Starting it strong with a stock sound effect. Love that. Take it from me, I was actually one of the children that was traumatized by one of the original VHS versions of this movie because someone put it in the kids section in a random library, and I didn't understand any of the allegory, but I did understand that animals were constantly dying and the dog scared me in that movie. This is specifically a really brilliant story that is not at all a kid's one. In fact, it's not even a cartoon in the original, it is just a book. It's just 100 pages of an actual cautionary tale, allegorical of Stalinism, commentary on capitalism and socialism, but it's also a whole lot more in depth than this good, this bad, and is much more about government and states rather than people, yada yada yada. You don't need to hear about the actual media literacy depth of what George Orwell's Animal Farm is, because it's animals on a farm. Kids movie. Here it is. Wow, it's got funky times. There's gonna be a singing pig. This is weird that it's so lighthearted so far, you know? Like, it's demonstrably a famous thing that this is not meant to be a kid's story. And also, with like their past films being such general audiences, you know, it's for the biggest, broadest family Christian movies, it's a little weird that so far there's no real implication of what target this is gonna meant to be. Are they trying to traumatize children with this one? When I first kind of saw this, was willing to give it a little bit of leniency. The fact that it's going for a wide general audience, incredibly strange, right? That's not normal, and I think is deceptive and disingenuous, leading to somebody's trauma, I'm sure. But it at the very least does seem to have the same plot. As much as this trailer looks like the version that would be released by the pigs, who, by the way, are kind of the bad guys in this story, things do still seem to be the case that they are clearly the villains. This trailer just doesn't want to properly explore that yet. It'll be a slow burn because most of the plot twist is in the ending anyway. It's not, but, you know, fine, whatever. But the real kicker that kind of got to me is that while I was expecting this to roll into the more accurate adaptations of the source material of this thing, no. Big caveat to that. This isn't just a nice-looking, highly toned trailer. This is already certified as a PG movie, i.e., it doesn't just look like a kids-friendly film early doors, it just is a kid-friendly version all throughout.
Laughter House! That sounds awesome! I love to laugh!
Oh dear, of course they had to do the Seth Rogan laugh. I mean, I guess it's timeless because he's still alive. Very basic humor though, we've heard it before, you know? At least like the reveal of Laughter House to Slaughterhouse. Hey, that makes sense. And to be an actual kids film with a PG rating is just so delusionally backwards to what the intention of the story originally was. George Orwell went out of his way to say this is not kids' media, and I think the only reason it's now becoming kids' media is because they were given animation adaptations decades ago. It's because the industry believes that all animation has to be for kids, and it's already been animated once, that this has to remain an animation, and thus must be boiled down for kids' content. It's baffling, man, because the tone of this movie is so far off, and I have reason to believe it's not actually getting darker. It might do, and that'd be nice, but with a PG rating like that, I don't think so.
Are equal, but some are more equal than others.
Okay, right. Why is he doing like an iPhone presentation? Was that... Why? What is this, man? This is weird. A weird way to try and make this eternal. But, okay, fine. It's just weird. We can already see some elements of the darker sides of this story being censored and hidden away, because while we see a good collection of different types of animals, there is a particular breed of animal missing already, and it is the dogs, the scary thing from my childhood nightmares. The pigs used to have the farm dogs as their guardsmen, the brutal, active soldiers to keep their workers in line, and they aren't here in this movie. They have not made any screen time appearances because there's not going to be that actual fear factor. Are they going to send off the horse to the glue factory? Because in this tone, that sounds like it's going to be the end of a punchline. There are punchlines in this trailer, by the way, and they are some of the most disgustingly, ironically, I guess they are Orwellian in the wrong way, because it's just like parody. This is a parody of a genuinely serious and ever more relevant story in a lot of ways. No, instead we get to watch a pig shaking their ass.
Look at all this deliciousness. They want this.
Man, did they write that? Did George Orwell back in the day write they want this and then the pig shakes their ass? This is very modern. Why is Seth Rogan in this? This is a lot more of a serious story, you know? This isn't just kids' entertainment. I should know, I was traumatized as a kid watching Animal Farm on VHS to try to go to sleep because my mum wasn't aware of the fact that Animal Farm is not a film about animals on a farm for kids. I didn't understand the ending. I didn't get it. I was like, well, what happens next? They killed, they fought. Why didn't I get to see the fight? And also, what happens afterwards? I didn't get it. And it all pays off for the actual punchline, a cautionary tale. And it's gonna be, well, turns out they can hit the beats, but it's not gonna be very impactful, is it? I was really willing to defend this at my first watch of this trailer, so I'm not gonna be all too critical when I cut back to earlier me reacting to the trailer. But the more you dig into it, the things you realize they've taken away and the way it's clearly all gonna be plastered to be so nice and friendly means there isn't some gotcha at the end. It is legitimately gonna be the big super bad villain is Seth Rogan doing his usual laugh, but now he's a pig. It's mind-boggling, man. And so far beyond the point that it feels like anyone involved in this film doesn't have the media literacy to understand the severity of the source material. Look at this lovely long list of celebrities they think is going to sell the movie. I think they all have half the IQ they actually have now, because why would they be attached to a movie so far beyond the serious discussion it brings up? These people all must think animation just for kids, dance around, oh goofy. Man, what a disappointment.
We're free.
It's a bit freaky though, now that I'm looking at a freeze frame of the whole ensemble, that some have like whites in their eyes and like the cows look like they are not conscious. That's freaky. The premise, weirdly, without all of the historical context, genuinely sounds a little interesting. You know, I liked when The Good Dinosaur had the dinosaurs making their own farm. I would weirdly, removing all of the historical media literacy element, wouldn't mind a film about just the Animal Farm. But I hope they adapt the Animal Farm part of Animal Farm if you're going to do an adaptation of Animal Farm. Hey there, thanks for making it to the halfway mark of this video. Come subscribe if you haven't already for more animated movie trailers. We'll cover the good and demonstrably the bad. But for now, let's get back to the second half of Animal Farm.
Oh, so cute!
Activate cute eyes.
I'd rather gouge them out.
Okay, cool. That we've progressed a long time since Shrek 2. We have now the subversion of that trope.
I want
that farm.
Whoa, wait, this is a future movie? What's the time period of Animal Farm? Has it always been that way? That's crazy. I mean, I guess they want to modernize and futurize. Okay, was that necessary? Is that going to be part of the allegory? Is it talking about modern capitalism and socialism? I doubt it. And Andy Serkis up front and center as director? I mean, I know he did Venom 2, but like, I think a lot less of him after this, because what is this, man? This isn't just bad art. This is like almost malicious. I don't know, man. At what point does stupidity become malice, you know? I don't know if I need to go further on in saying that pasting over this dramatic story into one that can be made fun of and simple and watered down and brushed to the side actually is an intentional thing, but that will be some form of the end result. Oh, you want to talk about the politics of Animal Farm? What, you mean that silly kids movie? Who are you? I don't know, man. Naturally, they've got to have every actor in the world to try and sell this thing. Okay, great. We haven't gotten to the twist yet, the point, you know? Interesting names, though, in there. Gaten Matarazzo, Kieran Culkin, Woody Harrelson, Jim Parsons. Okay. And then going beyond the things that they took away from this movie, look at the damn stuff they've added to this movie. Already they've made some neutral points I'm willing to defend. It's set in the modern day. That's not really needed. It's just a farm. Farms don't really modernize that much. It's relevant no matter what, and it's more timeless, if anything, to keep it stuck to the limitations of where farming agriculture is. But then also they go beyond to make it like futuristic cyber world for some reason. Is it just so they could get the red lighting on the pig in that one scene so you can tell he's the villain? I don't know. What is this? And then it goes further. Like, oh my god. Why are there cars? Why is there like a Cybertruck vibe in this movie? I don't know why? What is this, man? Is it gonna tell something extra on top? You could damn well think fucking no. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just outright some sort of sponsorship opportunity, like when Illumination's The Lorax did that Mercedes advert or whatever the hell it was. Put completely against the point, far contrasting the environmentalism of the Lorax story. And across the board, this just feels like such a strange parody of itself. It's got pop culture moments for when they're doing little bits of agriculture and building the farm. There is a pig that starts singing in the middle of it. And even the shot that could possibly be the ending of the whole movie in this first trailer, it's the one with the donkey saying this is our home now, potentially overthrowing the pigs, still looks bright and colorful as hell. I like, it doesn't look like there's gonna be any kind of genuine darkness or grayscale or thematic weight, because I don't think the people who made this movie understood the 100 pages that it was written from. Why does it turn into like a frat boy movie and feel like it's gonna stay there? Such a Seth Rogan turn, and it's weird.
Let's have no one do that again.
That's weird that they didn't present any of it like that. It was just, hey, look, the animals get crazy and the pigs have fun and party. Come see it May 1st. What a weird marketing choice there. And the fact that it's aimed at children is a little bit scummy. To take the tone of something like Animal Farm and turn it into such a slop fest of modern animated kids media is just one of the choices of all times in this decade, and truly emblematic of something. Even if the best case scenario is that it does take things serious, it does go dark, and it is deceptively traumatizing, still aiming it at a wide general audience like this is just weird. You know, that's not right. There isn't really a good ending towards any of these spins of Animal Farm. This one is already doomed from the start. The best thing we could really ask for next is that it really does get to the bottom of the barrel and is indeed the worst movie of 2026.
Pigs and humans working together.
Okay, very weird that it goes cyber, but hey, maybe I just don't remember the books from the old days. It's an adaptation, it's gonna be refreshing. Why is it Seth Rogan in the center, man? It kind of takes away something, you know, if he's the final villain and it's just guy, you know? Maybe they'll add one extra benefit of the environmentalism, since the future world seems pretty white and green, as if they're trying to force in plants into modern day again. I don't have my hopes up necessarily. This just looks like a joke. And at the end of the day, it seems like will be the punchline. I saw a comment that really wraps it together the most. It's pretty dark comedy, but there you are. And it was that the tone that this movie gives and the way it's being approached in the modern day very much feels like it's going to expand further with Anne Frank appearing as a skin in Fortnite, just as a way to take away any severity and water it down into our modern culture. I don't think you can do an adaptation any worse than this. The only saving grace is it's a sharp, dark turn from here, but it's not. Let's be honest. This is bait, really, let's be honest. And what do you think the odds are they'll actually take the message and go actually the wrong way around? That would certainly be something.
We're close.
Huh? What? We're show pigs.
Was that a joke? We're show pigs! Alright, I get it. Okay, cool. Like, sure, there's commentary there about something. Is there? Like, I guess kind of. I feel like this isn't the kind of movie that wants you to actually use your media literacy yet. What is going on, man? This trailer's showing none of the plot. I guess because it's all in the ending? This feels like it's just being very pro-pigs up to this point. Obviously, the whole point is they're the villains and do they just not want to spoil it? What is this trailer doing? It's trying to advertise to the most general family audience in deceit? What is this? And then pretty overt, they explode the whole thing, right? And in the most ironic sense, I cannot wait. And releasing on International Workers' Day as well. Wow. Maybe this really is a Malicious movie. Unless they think they're making a good point. Can't wait to see how they add 6-7 to this one as well. Anyway, I've rambled more than long enough about this movie. Can't wait for it to forcibly re-enter our lives soon enough. But I'll end it off there. My name's been Dazz. Thank you very much for reaching the end of this video. Do tell us your thoughts on Animal Farm. You think it's actually a contender for Worst of the Year? What could possibly be worse than this? I'd love to hear all of your thoughts and more. And I shall see you all in a little bit. Cheerio!